she's got great chat.
I was coming back here to tell you I loved you.
I licked her tit or whatever.
You know, got quicksand. It's like the equivalent, it's made out of dicks.
It's banter. I'm a mommy.
Mommy?
I'm a mom.
Mamacita.
Mommy.
Like a mom of what? A dog?
Are you joking? You are a liar, actress. So fast, it's crazy.
She's got the chat.
First things first, banning gherkins and all McDonald's burgers. And if you still are eating those gherkins, grow up, because they're minging.
Hello and welcome to She's Got the Chat. I am Maura.
And I am Ariana Roush.
I love that. Yeah, you should just start every Traitors episode just claiming that you're married to him.
I am so sad because I put out what I thought was a really good TikTok.
I was obsessed with it.
Well, it was like one of those things where I was like, I'm going viral because it immediately was like 100, 200, 300, and then it just stopped.
That is TikTok in a nutshell, I feel like. Don't know the magic sauce for going viral on there, but it seems quite random.
I think that it's a lot about posting multiple times a day, which we just
It's hard to do.
aren't going to do.
We just I have we both have jobs.
Right. I have been fantasizing a lot recently about quitting my job and being a full-time podcaster and really leaning in and trying to get some brand deals. So if you work for a brand and you want to help me achieve my dream, I guess I can't do this before my wedding. Also, all the things about having a job that I don't even think about, PTO and health insurance. But I'm getting married. I guess it could be on Gabe's health insurance.
Yeah. I think about that often, Ari, because I'm like, if we ever made it big enough that we could live off of this, right? I'm like, okay, what about my health insurance? I'm like, oh, well, Lucas would have health insurance, obviously. I could just get on his. And I was like, but money-wise, I would lose my pension.
Right. How much do you have to work, or how many years?
I think I have to work 10 years to be vested. I am
10 more?
10 total.
Oh, girl, you're fine.
I'm halfway through.
Wait, you've only been working for 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for the city.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pension is a thing. A pension is a good thing. When I was not even trying to, I don't know, I was in a moment of trying to figure out what to do next in my career, and Gabe's dad was like, you should be a teacher. You'll be so happy when you're in your 60s. And I was like, no.
Respect. I have the utmost respect for teachers, but I could never be a teacher because the shit that I see them have to deal with every day, it's a nightmare. To all of our teachers listening, because I know there's some listening, God bless you.
Oh my God.
The Lord's work. We're a religious podcast now.
We really, really said that exactly. Which is hard to do virtually.
It's very hard to do. Yeah, no, but God bless you. You're doing the Lord's work. And shout out to you. Keep trucking because the kids need you. And I'm sorry that admin sucks. I think everyone, and if you're admin, I'm sorry. Oops.
I mean, it's sad to live somewhere where teachers who are objectively probably the most important people outside of I don't know, ER doctors are so undervalued and underpaid. My friend of the pod, Martha, I think that I'm allowed to say publicly that she had a baby.
Right.
And she announced this when she was that she was pregnant. So clearly it's been long enough that the baby is now Earthside. And she has a job out in Virginia where she moved to at a private school. And I did not know, and this is ignorant on my part, but if you didn't know, you should know. She's like, oh my God, I'm so excited to have this job before I give birth because I'll get maternity leave. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, oh yeah, teachers don't get paid maternity leave.
Correct.
What?
I don't have maternity leave.
What the fuck?
Yep.
So if you have a baby, they just expect you to take unpaid time off?
Correct.
Do you have to save up PTO for that? Or could you lose your job?
No, I will not lose my job. I could take up to a year of unpaid. I could be I'm tapping out for a year and I would lose my spot at my school, but I would not lose my job. But I could take FMLA for 12 weeks, which is unpaid. But I also learned recently that if you take FMLA, they exhaust all of your PTO in order to pay you during that. And then you still only get 12 weeks. You don't get your paid time off and then 12 weeks of FMLA.
In other words, so definitely keep working for 5 years so you can get your pension. What
Isn't
the
that whack as
fuck,
fuck?
America? What the fuck?
No, it's actually a huge issue, and I should probably make more of a stink about it. Like, it's something that we just had like a bargaining year with the district, and like we got some more money, which is great. But I actually think that they need to prioritize maternity leave and paternity leave for teachers and parents, because it's fucking horrendous. Like, Lucas gets paternity leave and I don't.
I mean, I know that there's probably some like math of like, and it obviously like bodies don't work this way, but logically you're probably like, well, I would have to get pregnant at this time so I could take the FMLA and then like have summer break and then like, and that's just like
I am
up.
doing that math in my head. I'm doing it all the time.
That's
I literally
fucked up.
thinking like, if I got pregnant right now, I would have a baby in about October. And so then that would put me up. I'd have to go back like right after the new year. And that's a nightmare.
Like kids wise, or just a nightmare because you're like poor, haven't made any money for the last 3 months, have a newborn and have to go back to your job, or
Yes.
a nightmare in what way?
Just like having to leave, because like the school year would start at like toward the end of August, so I'd have to work from the end of August to probably like, I don't know, let's call it the middle of October. I'm thinking like if I got pregnant right now, this moment, and then like I would be off for 12 weeks, which would put me close to about winter break, and so I might have to go back before winter break, but thinking otherwise I'd be going back right after the new year. So it's like I'd be starting a little bit of the year, missing a big chunk of time, and then having to go back in the middle of the school year, and it would just be like awful.
Jesus.
The ideal time to have a kid if you're a teacher is like May and June, or April, May,
Right.
June, like right before summer break, because then you get summer break and that's paid, and like your spring break and your winter break is also paid. Like that doesn't go against you, which is nice. But then that's like 5 months off that you get in a row.
Jesus Christ.
Which is an ideal scenario, obviously. But, you know, you get pregnant when you get pregnant. So.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I'm like, you are doing that in your head, but like, that's not how your body works. And also, like,
Right.
what if you're having a hard time getting pregnant? And then,
Exactly.
like, you get pregnant at a time that's like inopportune for like your work schedule. And then you like are excited about it, but it's also a bummer. Like, what the fuck?
I know.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. The lack of I could literally talk about this. The lack of maternity leave in the United States is awful. I was just like, what word can I use to describe this? It's fucked up and stupid, and I fucking hate this government.
Is that the justification for teachers? Is they're like, well, you have like 3 months paid off every year for the summer, so like we can't give you more than that?
I don't know what the justification is. I've never heard it.
Dang.
It's money, probably. We don't want to pay you.
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
You already get paid. I think the district honestly feels like you already get paid enough. Guarantee you.
That's hilarious.
My dad also makes a joke. So in Baltimore City, teachers and staff get paid pretty well. Like I make a pretty good salary. But my dad likes to call it combat pay because it's such a difficult district to work in. But like if I went to Baltimore County, where like I grew up and it's a different environment, I would get paid a lot less working in the schools.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, great.
And that's on the educational system.
I would get mat leave. I guess the moral of the story is we can't quit our fucking jobs.
Not yet. We can't quit our jobs because we're not making enough money from this.
Right. If we were
Period.
making enough money, then we could deal with not having
Other
paid
stuff.
maternity leave and benefits, because
Yeah.
we will get benefits through our husband, Rob.
Yes. Well, Ari, if we got pregnant with Rob, he could just pay for everything.
With his winnings from the Traitors.
With his winnings from the Traitors.
That's such a good point. I actually couldn't believe when they said in this episode that I think it was episode 5, I don't remember, one of these episodes, that the prize pot was already over 100K.
Uh-huh. Also, I'm sorry, while you were talking, I just thought, like, if we both got pregnant with Rob's babies, like, we'd be sister wives.
We would be.
I would be so okay with that.
I'd be fine with it too. I feel like we talked about this. I don't remember what it's called, but Lala started a podcast with the woman who Randall was married to when she was having an affair with Randall. And so they're not sister wives, but their kids are half siblings.
Wild.
So that could be us, but just intentionally.
Right. But I'm okay with sister wives.
Either
Rob,
way. I love this woman. Is she married? Probably.
Probably. Should I post that on our Instagram?
100%.
Okay. I'm going to do it.
Okay. While Maura does that, I guess you're not doing it right now, but
I'll do it. I can do it right now.
Okay, great.
I'll get
that,
it set up.
I'm going to share a little bit about some research that I've done. And this is how much I deserve for this podcast, how much we deserve for this podcast to be our full-time jobs, because you cannot tell us that we do not put in the fucking work.
Mm-hmm.
This last weekend was the Golden Globes. Well, I guess you're listening to this on Monday, so 2 weekends ago. We're recording Saturday. 6 days ago was the Golden Globes. 6 days, okay?
Yep.
On the red carpet, somebody asked Dylan Efron about the season of The Traitors. And he said something along the lines of, I think that Rob has it in the basket. In the basket? In the bag.
Basket.
Is that that's not a thing. I think Rob has it in the bag. He says, I think that Rob is playing a UK season 2 Traitors strategy. And I thought back to what I said on the last podcast about how I have never seen a season in which a traitor has won. And first of all, I have to retract that because that's actually a lie. I saw season 1 of USA. Amazing, iconic, it was a season where it was like half normies, half celebs, which they quickly moved on from that format. But I would recommend to go back and watch it. Regardless, I lied. My apologies. In between last Sunday and now, I watched all of season 2 UK so that I can give you an inside scoop of what that strategy looked like.
I love it.
So there is this guy on the season. His name is Harry. He's 22 years old. He introduces himself by saying, "This is cocky, but I have noticed that in life, I have the kind of face that people either want to kiss or punch." I would say, so far, that's very Rob. Yeah. I don't have the inclination to punch him in the face, but it seems that others do.
Yeah. It'll never not shock me.
Yeah. He's a little bit more like baby face. Like they're not the same vibe, but like they are. I get the similarities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he is one of the OG Traitors. And I'm just going to kind of like go through his strategy. And then I'll talk about how I think it applies to Rob. There are 2 other traitors, and then the 3 of them pick a 4th traitor. This season is interesting because, first of all, one of the traitors is voted out almost immediately because there is heat on her, and they like pretty quickly turn against her and are like, she's like a liability, and she gets voted out. Then there's a murder in plain sight that is very obviously linked to one of the other traitors. They turn against him, get him voted out. Then there are just 2 traitors. And their strategy from this point forward, every time it gets down to 2 traitors, they don't have to, but they're allowed to recruit.
Right.
And they continuously recruit people who have heat on them already.
To get them out?
Yes, it's a really wild strategy of like very much being out for yourself.
That's a really good idea.
It's a really good idea. There's one play that absolutely wins this season for him. It is spectacular. And what that play is that they're doing some challenge. He finds a shield and somebody sees him get it, but he's like, don't tell anyone. He gets the shield. At this point, there are only 2 traitors. He tells a few people that he got the shield. Mainly people who like have heat on them for being traitors. And then in the turret that night, he goes, I got the shield. let's recruit, but nobody will expect that it's a recruitment. We'll say that they tried to kill me, but I had the shield, and so I was safe. And then because he has made himself look like such a faithful by like putting out this narrative, they then all say, okay, well then the people who did not know that he had the shield, which is basically the people who
Like you would think
didn't have the heat on them, they have to be the traitors that tried to kill him, because you wouldn't have tried to kill him if you knew he had the shield.
Whoa.
So Maura, they fucking one by one banish these faithfuls. Even amongst themselves. Like there at one point there are two girls who are like, I know it's not me, so it has to be you. I know it's not me, so it has to be you. Like everyone buys into this theory that like it has to be somebody that didn't know that Harry had the shield that tried to kill him. It's never even discussed like maybe this was just Harry. Like I think that he got 0 votes around the round table the entire fucking season.
Wow. So we see the last traitor standing?
So at this point, there are 2 traitors, him and somebody that they had recruited. They are like voting out all these faithfuls.
Right.
And then, yeah, at the end, when they like go to do the final ceremony, like throwing the things in the fire and it either burns red or green, there is one other traitor that he votes to get out. Like he has no qualms going against the other traitors. And then it ends up being him and a faithful. And
he takes the money.
Yeah, I mean, they can't even vote to banish again or end the game because it's just 2 of them. Once it's 2, it's like, all right,
game's over.
Are you a traitor or a faithful? She's like, I'm a faithful. He's like, I'm a traitor. She walks out. He won. I think it was only like 95,000 pounds.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible.
Yes.
The show is so good. Oh my God.
It's so good. I'm sorry that I just like spoiled all of it. I would recommend that anyone goes and watches this season, but I feel like it's really important to see how this happened because there is something about him that is Rob-esque.
Right.
And I think even like amongst the traitors, this guy Harry kind of played a like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a little bit, young and like, and it was very artful. And I think that what it left me with in terms of the season and Rob's strategy, and there was a moment that he said something where I was like, he might be able to do it, but he needs to be out for himself. Mm-hmm. The moment was when he said something about how there was some heat on Lisa, and he was like, my priority is the other traitors, but I can only do so much.
Yep.
And I was like, that's fucking right, Rob.
Exactly. Because
if you are consistently standing up for people who end up getting voted out and they're traitors, you can't win that way. You just can't.
Yeah. I liked how we'll definitely get into it more with the Lisa piece of it, but I liked how he played that. And because you really can't be like, oh, surely not. No way she's a traitor. If you go too hard, it becomes too obvious if she does get found out.
Yeah, or even just if you are never voting at the round table for the people who end up being traitors, they're going to be like, that is going to be noticed over time. So yeah, I think that was like a glimmer of hope for me of like, okay, he might be able to do it, but I do feel a little bit concerned about how dedicated he is to his group of traitors right now, which is like crazy to say because that does feel like a good way at least to start out the season. But anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
I did the work. I'm a journalist.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Honestly, that is like great knowledge to have for like the remainder of the season. Like, I know that Alan Cumming said that there is like one episode that's like really crazy. I think it's like episode 6 or 7. So it should be in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, he said it's the banquet.
Oh, is that the next episode?
I don't know.
Because we got like a teaser for it at the end of 5.
Oh, yeah. We saw like a table. I don't know if that they said it was that, but it could be that.
I bet it's episode 6 or 7. I bet they end 6 on like a cliffhanger and we'll have to like wait to like see the resolution on 7. But wow. Now I'm very excited for next week. Oh my God.
I'm so excited.
I wonder what's going to happen. I do kind of think Rob will turn on one of them or both of them. Which is
why I think that the evidence that you presented last episode as well about Candace not following him is also hopeful. Mm-hmm. That like, yeah, if these traitors, and him are not in a good place.
But Lisa Rinna loves Rob. She's been all over his social media.
Well, listen, I think Lisa's probably gone soon.
Yeah.
Let's
I think she'll let's get into it.
I knew that Lisa would be a bad traitor. I have said that since before the fucking season started.
You did.
Can
You did. You said it episode 1 when we talked about this.
I said it episode 1. I said it before it started airing. I said I don't think that Lisa would be. You were like, I really hope Lisa will be a traitor. This was in our group chat with Logan and Stacey. I was like, I don't think she'll be a good traitor because I could actually find out exactly what I said. So I'll do that while you give the next update.
Okay, so a little bit of news. As you guys know, Love Island All-Stars is back up and running. We will be covering that. We are unsure exactly how many episodes we're going to cover on Thursday since the schedule got so janky. Since they aired Thursday, Friday. I think they're doing Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then it should be back to normal schedule. So we're just going to kind of we'll tell you at the top of the episode which episodes we're covering. We'll hopefully get onto a more regularized schedule after this week. But
okay,
glad to hear that the fires are better. Yes. Okay.
Yes. Happy for everyone.
What did you say about
South
Lisa?
Africa? You said, I want Lisa as a traitor. I said she'd be a terrible traitor. I hope she's a faithful. You said, why? I said she's at her best when she has no idea what the fuck is going on, and I don't think she is smart enough to play a good traitor game.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, please go follow us on social media, and please go send the TikTok that I made that's hilarious and a little bit vulnerable to everyone that you know. And you can find that on TikTok at She's Got the Chat, but you can also follow us on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, Facebook. She's Got the Chat on all social media. Please subscribe to us on all podcast platforms. Leave us a rating, leave us a review, and share our podcast with somebody who is obsessed with Rob.
Yes. Tell a friend. I ask you, please send this podcast episode or last week's episode to a friend. I don't care if they don't love podcasts. I don't care if they're like, I don't know if I'm going to send it to a friend, a brother, a sister, your mother, your father, an aunt, an uncle, a teacher,
a coworker,
anybody, a coworker. Send this podcast
politician,
to someone.
your boss,
anyone, because that is the absolute best way to help us. If you love us and you want us to keep doing it, share this podcast.
And I can promise that anyone who likes Rob Roush will like this podcast.
Period. Yeah. And let me tell you, I've been on the internet this week, Ari. I have been on. I told Ari this earlier this week, but I am in a Rob content K-hole.
Yeah, and you were like, I don't really know what this means, but I think I'm in a K-hole. And then a few minutes later, you were like, I Googled what K-hole means, and I stand by it.
It means you're completely dissociated from reality. And
due
I was
to ketamine.
Yeah, due to ketamine. But I was like, no, that's actually pretty accurate to my experience with this.
We're in an R-hole.
R-hole. Oh.
I'm dead.
It's a problem. I feel like I need a life.
No, I actually feel sick. I am sick right now.
Oh, I feel better.
Is it because of Rob? Unclear. Definitely part of it.
Surely not. Physically sick from him? No, never. Couldn't.
Physically sick from the longing? Maybe.
Okay, fair.
I know that the flu is going around.
Mm-hmm.
That Rob fever is going around even stronger.
Yerp. I agree.
Word.
Stronger?
My brain. I'm in an R-hole. What can I say?
Okay. So yes, if you have a friend who's also in an R-hole, please send them this podcast. All right, Ari, let's get into Traitors, episode 4.
Let's chat. All right, so we are getting started with episode 4, and we see breakfast. First in is Jam Jam, Natalie, Maura, Monet, and Rob. Rob ITMs that he needs to play dumb. And then next we see Dorinda, Johnny, Steven, Tiffany, and Mark. Next, we see Candace, Tara, Colton, Michael, and then Ron. And Ron, I think, is the first person that came in who was tied to who was potentially up for murder last night. And it was Monet who had this idea, very smart, to be like, we need to grill everyone about exactly what happened, because if any of them were a traitor, they wouldn't be able to tell us the details, because then it obviously didn't happen to them.
Yeah.
So he's like, I was blindfolded, I was tied to a tree, the traitors walked around me, I think that there were 3. He heard very light footsteps, and he ITMs that he knows that because of that, the traitor is Maura. I'm like, do you think that she's the only one in the castle with light footsteps?
With light footsteps? I know. That was silly. In Maura's words, I'll take it as a compliment.
No, I know. Later when that happened, I died.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, Michael, who were you walking around with? And he's like, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're all just trying to like catch him in it.
Yeah. Next in, we have Lisa. They all ask what happened. She does share a pretty good, very detailed story of what happened. Honestly, this is where I was like, I do think that how she did this is how Lisa would do it as a faithful. Like, where she was like, a henchman. Like, I thought that was very authentically Lisa Rinna.
Yes.
They're like, oh, like the henchman, the guys with the gold masks. And she was like, no, black.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said something about, and then she took off the mask and there was a guy there with an axe. And they were like, Ron didn't mention the axe.
Mm-hmm.
But he does confirm that the rest of her story was the same thing that happened to him.
Right.
Next in, we have Eric. He gives his same story, also mentions the axe. He says that there were maybe 2 people walking around him. And then he ITMs that he heard a laugh, but he's not going to share this information yet. I was so terrified. I was like, was it Rob? Did he hear Rob laugh?
No, same. I thought the same thing. But then I thought Rob would never laugh.
No, I know. I was like, there's no way that he would be so dumb. But just because they weren't telling us, I was like, please don't let this be his downfall.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So we know now that it's between Kristen and Caroline. We go back to last night. We see them in the woods. We see that the traitors kill Caroline, as we said they should. It is kind of funny. I thought that there would maybe be like a little bit more levity in this moment of like, we're sorry, but we have to cover our asses. But
they were so serious.
They were fucking brutal. Maybe they cut that part of it out, but she's like, Rinna, you bitch. Yeah. Candace says she talks too much. And Caroline goes, I'll see you out of this, I'm sure. Somewhere like BravoCon. And Lisa goes, no, you won't.
I was like, wait, what? I was like, wait, Lisa's, I like how my thought was just like, no, I'm not going to BravoCon. You know what I mean? Like, I won't be there.
I think that she was saying like, no, you won't, because we're killing you. Like, I think they really got into it.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, it was intense.
Well, she did say go back to Dubai or something like that.
She did
time
say
to go
that.
back to Dubai.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah. But yeah, Candace says she talks too much. And then last in is Kristen. Alan enters. They grill Kristen just like they've grilled the rest of them. She thinks that there could be 3 or 4 traitors. Jam Jam calls it a ceremony. And Tiffany is like, why would somebody call it a ceremony? And I don't remember who she's talking to, but whoever she's talking to is like
Dorinda.
She's like, because it is.
Yeah. She's like, I would call it that.
And she goes, for a traitor. Like, it's a ceremony for a traitor. Okay.
I know.
A number of the contestants talk about who could be a traitor. Candace is really pushing Ron. Tiffany talks to Kristen about her theory. She's like, it is Michael, Jam Jam, and Ron.
Yeah, I have an issue with this theory because Jam Jam and Michael clearly fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
And I just don't see why she would think that the 2 of them could ever be working together when they so clearly dislike each other.
I mean, we obviously have a history of traitor on traitor crime, of traitor versus traitor. But I think that, yeah, for them to be like so obvious about it from the beginning would not be a good move, and likely is not what anyone would do. And also, like, at some point she ITMs that, like, just because I'm like thinking, you know, multiple steps ahead doesn't mean I'm a traitor when you can only think one step ahead. I actually think that in this game you really can only think one step ahead.
Yeah, I think that's fair, because otherwise you can get tripped up.
Yeah, and like, you know, is your whole theory going to come crashing down if the first of those three that you vote out is not a traitor? Because it should. Like, you should be questioning yourself. You shouldn't be so certain of anything. So I do think that this is an error on Tiffany's part, obviously.
Yeah, I agree.
Colton tells Rob, Mark, and Monet that he wants to take a big swing at Tiffany. And then he shares the same to everyone in his car on the way to the mission. And when he's talking to Rob, Mark, and Monet, he says, he's like, I know I'm playing this game aggressive, but I don't want to go out like a bitch.
Yeah.
And I just had this feeling of like, Colton is like struggling so much with internalized homophobia that it is impacting the way that he plays this game in a fatal way. Like, this is going to be the end of him because he doesn't want to look like a bitch. And so he's just going to continuously like be so aggressively going for people.
Well, I think unfortunately this could also just be his personality, because obviously he just seems like he's a little bit of an aggressive person. Stalking Cassie being a number one piece of evidence for that.
I guess, but I'm just like, did he not internalize what happened when Ron was so convinced that it was Portia and then it wasn't, and so now everyone's suspicion is on Ron? Like, does he not have any fear that that will happen to him?
I agree with you. He should. Unfortunately, this is basically what Michael Rapaport also says to Colton later, but like,
I know. And the part of the argument that I was like, fuck, I'm on Michael's side.
The one moment, the brief moment.
It was fleeting, but it was there.
It was there. I was like, he's not wrong. Colton should have been a little bit more like hesitant about it. I just think that he's trying to be like Pilot Pete, but he's like doing it too soon.
He's doing it too soon, and he's doing it too loudly. Pilot Pete was so much more intentional, and he was more accurate. Like, Colton is just choosing his target and then trying to get everyone on board constantly, and it's like, you haven't really proved yourself as somebody that like we should all jump on your bandwagon yet, because you haven't been right so far. I think Colton's also, I think he's trying to like produce the show a little bit, and in that effort is getting it completely wrong. It's so interesting because as a faithful in this game, like, there is something to be said for being confident about the wrong people, because the traitors are likely not going to kill you, but you have to play a game to both not get murdered and also not get banished, and that will get you banished. Absolutely. And that's where like being a little bit chiller and fading into the background is more of a long-term strategy. Yep. Definitely. The contestants then move into their first mission. So they have to set these effigies on fire by finding these hidden spheres that are in the woods, and then they have to stab the effigies with the fire. It's a spear, right? Not a sphere. Isn't a sphere a circle? I thought it was a circle when I was writing this, but you're right. Spear is the actual word. Okay, so they move into their first mission. They have to set effigies on fire by finding hidden spears in the woods, and then they have to stab the effigies with the burning spear. You're saying sphere. Spear. I said spear. It just sounded like I'm tripping over my words. So they have to find, there's like a doll, and then that is kind of like X marks the spot, and it shows them where the spear is. Yes, that's what it sounds like. I felt like that was a little bit convoluted. Like, just look for spears. I guess that would have been too difficult because they're like long sticks that are kind of like under the dirt. Yeah. And it would have been way too hard. Yeah. Maybe. I guess the doll is slightly easier. But yeah, so for every burned effigy, one player's shield will burn, and that player has lost protection from murder. When they burn a beast, they will shout a player's name, and then that person loses a shield, and this loud horn will blow. The contestants can earn up to $20,000
and up to 10 players can be up for murder. They then split into groups, and then Monet shares with Candace that she's suspicious of Lisa being a traitor. In group 1, we have Lisa, Monet, Candace, and Eric. In another group, we have Kristen, Mark, and Colton. Then we also have Maura, Rob, Tara, and Dorinda. Group 4, we have Steven, Natalie, and Michael. And group 5 is Johnny, Ron, Tiffany, and Jam Jam. So the contestants then run off into the woods. Colton finds the first spear and decides to target Ron. And then Monet's group decides to target Tiffany. Tiffany sees this and then decides to go for Monet. Rob's group then decides to go for Michael, and Michael then goes for Tara as retaliation.
And then he screams,
Yes.
Tara, Tara, Tara. And Alan is like, I think that he misunderstood the instructions.
Yes. He's missing the point that he only needed to shout the name once.
Yeah.
It's very awkward and weird, but that's Michael Rapaport.
Yeah.
Candace then tells Lisa that Monet said her name. Uh-oh. Rob then says to Maura, you want to ride? And then he picks her up and runs
Over
her to
his shoulder.
the effigies.
Oh my God.
My man,
oh
my man.
Alan goes, I know that Maura likes to rely on Rob in these challenges, but Dorinda hasn't had a ride in a long time.
That was so good.
It was so shady.
Very shady, very shady.
How do you know, Alan?
How do you know? She might be fucking.
I thought
She
that
might
was
be fucking.
crazy.
No, that was hilarious. I loved it.
I actually can't tell you how many times I watched this.
I watched this a lot, Ari. A lot. I've watched so many clips of it alone, just on top of me actually rewinding the show to watch it again.
What I would give to like feel his arm around like my upper thigh like that, you know, like grabbing and
God
running.
Ugh.
I may or may not be able to continue on with this episode.
And then also you'd be able to stare at his ass while he runs. Goddamn. Wow.
What is
I'm in
what is
heat.
this? What is this between Maura and Rob? Do you like that sentence?
I love that set. I actually for a second thought you were talking about me. And I was like, why is that a question? We know exactly what's going on. I don't know what it is, but I'm here for it.
It's at the very least a really excellently played alliance.
Yes. Agreed. He is like, I'm going to keep Maura close to me because we're united by Love Island. It's an obvious thing. He's being so nice and sweet to her. I feel like she has softened a lot to him.
She's gonna retract any negative thing that she ever said about him, because here is the other thing. I also watched season 1 of UK Traitors, which, by the way, Aaron was in, and it made me very much soften to Aaron. But at the end, sorry for like all the spoilers. If you haven't seen these seasons, they've been out for a long time, so not my fault.
Yeah.
At the end, there's one final traitor that they vote out, and then they split the prize money between 3 faithfuls. But when they vote him out, the 3 of them all are so emotional, and they're like, oh my God, I was wondering why I hadn't been killed, like why I was still here. And it's because of you, like because we're friends and you saved me. And they all are like, thank you.
Wow. That's crazy.
I know.
Oh my God. I could see that. I could see him saving them until the end. Yes.
It is such a good move to have an alliance like this with somebody who is a traitor, who then will not want to kill you. Although I guess it's also complicated because then sometimes you kill people you're friends with to make it look like it's not you. But regardless, this is, I think, a really, really good move on Mara's part to like believe Rob is a faithful and like have such a gung-ho alliance with him, also because like why would you not take every opportunity to touch him?
Yeah. I just feel like I need to like contact like an Etsy witch. I feel like I need to like astral project into her body.
That's what you commented on TikTok that I posted.
Yes.
What Etsy witch do I need to pay to trade bodies with Maura Higgins?
And I stand by that. Also, mind you, this is actually kind of embarrassing. So one cool thing is Maura Higgins viewed our story that I posted last night.
Hey girl, hey.
But that's because I was served a picture that she had posted, and I didn't realize that until this morning because I was drinking when I posted this last night. it was posted from January. She posted this picture January 7th, but I saw it on my feed, so I thought she had just posted it.
Oh, this
and
is
she's wearing overalls.
Yeah.
And I was like, what does this mean? And I wrote, Mara's playing in our face right now. I know what these overalls mean.
Wait, I'm sorry. She posted it on January 5th. She looked at it.
And Did you see she looked at her story?
Caption, yeah, I saw that. Is guess I've got a lot on my plate.
Yeah.
What do you have on your plate? Is it Rob?
Right. I know it's an ad for Guess. That's why she said Guess. I have a lot on my plate, whatever. But irregardless.
I mean, there are so many other ways to have an ad.
I know.
Oh, I love this
I do
vibe.
feel, I'm like, this feels like Rob coded.
Wait. Did you see that someone says taking fashion advice from Rob R? Question mark,
yes.
question mark, question mark. And she said maybe winky face.
I know. I did see that. Yes. I think I liked it. I don't know. But yeah. I would be cool if they hooked up. Again.
Someone says, OMG,
like
the overalls. Correct. Please tell me they are Rob's, then give us all the deets. Someone says, I see what's happening here. Oh my God. Everyone is so... like obsessed.
I know. Everyone is obsessed. Everyone is obsessed.
I don't want
everyone to be obsessed.
To be together.
They have to go to the back of the line. Respectfully, you and I have been here since day dot.
Like, wait your fucking turn, Maura.
Wait your turn. Exactly.
You can have the third Roush baby.
Right. You can imprint.
You can be our third sister wife. Okay, but we're 1 and 2.
Wait, I think I sent you that person who said, I think I'm imprinting on Rob. God, that was so funny.
Again, 2 years late.
Yeah. Our hole. We're all in an our hole.
2.5 years late. It's literally we've been obsessed since 2023.
Exactly. 3 years almost.
I know. Some might say 3 years.
3 years. Wow. All right. So Tara then goes for Steven. Colton goes for Lisa. Ron goes for Maura. Natalie goes for Johnny. And then Colton's group gets the last spear. They decide to go for Jam Jam. And then Jam Jam cries. And Maura thinks that he's fake crying. Just like he's being dramatic.
He is a funny player. I don't know what to think about him yet.
I like Jam Jam. I think he's funny. He's very sassy. He's like a little up and down, but I mean, I think he killed it on Survivor. So I'm not counting him out whatsoever.
No. The gamers are always challenging for me because I haven't seen their shows and I should call back, but when and if we're able to quit our jobs, I promise that will be my first order of business.
We'll be watching all of Survivor
and all of Big Brother, and I've seen most of the challenge, but the challenge, I don't know what it is, but it's like Gabe and I watched a shit ton of it during COVID and I can't tell you anything about it. Like it's just one of those things that like went in and out of my brain. But yes, I will be researching these players because I know I've heard about the cookout, which is like one of the most iconic. Was it Big Brother? Fuck, I don't even know.
Yeah, it was Big Brother. It was Tiffany and the alliance that she created. Yeah.
She created it. And it's like the number one alliance that I've heard about from that show. So like I know that we need to be putting respect on these people's names. I unfortunately, again, have a full-time job.
Yeah, we don't have as much knowledge.
Yeah.
To be fair, I also did ask my friend who watched all of Survivor about all the Survivor players, and she was like, I don't really remember anything notable. So I think it also happened a long time ago. And I think that's, I think everyone's kind of forgotten.
Totally.
Anyway, the contestants are able to earn $20K to the prize pot. Great job. So up for murder are Ron, Tiffany, Monet, Michael, Steven, Tara, Lisa, Maura, Johnny, and Jam Jam. Back at the castle, Tiffany tells Maura that Ron thinks Maura is a traitor. Natalie asks Ron to his face if he's a traitor or a faithful. He's obviously like, I'm a faithful. Like, what do you expect? Rob then tells Maura and Mark about Colton trying to go for Tiffany. And then Colton tells some of the Islanders, some of the contestants in the kitchen about why he suspects Tiffany. Colton tells Jam Jam that he has his back and he starts making the rounds to push for Tiffany. He is, as Johnny puts it later, whipping the votes.
We now move into the round table. Colton immediately brings up Tiffany. And he's like, you laid out this plan of who we should all go for. You're playing a good game. You're trying to be in control of everything, which is like ironic because so are you. You're just doing it one step at a time instead of 3 steps at a time.
Right.
Regardless, excellent for the Traitors. All of this is so good for the Traitors.
No, all of it. I was like, this whole thing of like, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you. I'm like, wow, they are sitting fucking pretty up in that turret right now.
Which is why they were never going to murder Michael. But
Yes,
we'll get
of
to
course.
that.
Of course.
Tiffany is like, I'm smarter than you, Colton. True.
Yeah, she is.
She's like, I would not go for a gamer, but Jam Jam would, which unfortunately is like a bummer to be like, I would never go for a gamer, but I'm about to throw one under the bus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, they really fumbled this potential alliance, and the gamers are kind of fucked because of it.
They're not gaming well,
Mm-mm.
which is shocking to see. Usually they are the biggest threats to the castle.
Well, I think a big part of it is that none of them are traitors, and so they immediately were like, who are the biggest threats, we'll kill them, and their numbers dwindled immediately, and now they're turning on each other.
That's so true. Mm-hmm.
They start to bicker back and forth. Colton says he's taking a big chance. I think this is where she says, like, just because I'm thinking 3 steps ahead doesn't mean I'm a traitor. I will say most of these people don't need the money, like in the celebrity version of the game. My heart really goes out for Tiffany because I think at least of what they've told us, like, she really needed it.
Yeah.
And so, like, this fucking sucks for her.
I agree. Her ending up like crying about it, like needing the money for college for her kid. I was like, fuck.
I know.
This is rough.
Please go follow her on Instagram and engage with all of her content and any brand deals that she does because she deserved it. Like, I do. Yeah, it's tough. That's why I was like, Donna Kelsey, like, literally 2 NFL sons, Taylor Swift, like, does not need the money. Like, they're, you know, and I know that a lot of them don't need the money. A lot of them are housewives, are very well off financially. And so
the housewives don't need it. Mara Higgins and Rob don't need it, TBH, even though I want Rob to win. But they don't need it. They're all fine financially.
I know.
Yeah.
It's not something that we often see in this version of the game because usually everyone is fine financially. And so this made me really sad.
Yeah.
And it made Candace sad too. And I think that Candace played this really, really well.
Oh, yeah. She's been playing a great game.
She has. She, minus the conga line thing, has really, since then, I think, been doing a good job. She stands up for her and she's like, I don't think that Tiffany is a traitor. Anyway, Tiffany is like, it's Ron and it's Jam Jam. Maura then calls out Ron, is like, you said my name. He's like, I heard light footsteps. And she goes, I'll take that as a compliment. Which, like, is a wild fucking thing to hang your hat on. Like, I have one piece of evidence. It's that I heard light footsteps. Who's small? You. Like,
yeah.
Come on. Especially after, like, he did have a lot of evidence to go for Portia. So, like,
yeah.
Let's stick with, like, I need a lot of evidence to make an accusation.
Yeah. I feel like, unfortunately, like, casting Ron Funches, I feel like they were hoping he'd be funny, but he has been, as he said, sad. Not on at all.
He was funny in the beginning when he was like, I'm excited in a way that makes me feel like I have to poop a little.
Right.
And that was, like, his one moment. And then since then, I think just because of what's happened to him in the beginning of this game, he's now turned into, like, a sad character.
I know. It's upsetting to see, honestly.
I also feel like we didn't mention him before when we were talking about the people that haven't been on reality TV.
Yeah.
He says that Maura is being defensive. She's like, I'm passionate. And then Eric speaks up. This is his moment. He's like, I heard something. When the Traitors came out, when I was tied to the tree, I gave a plea and I heard a laugh. And I am 99% sure of who that laugh was. And it was you. And then commercial break.
Yeah.
Come back. It was you, Tiffany. I'm like, oh my God.
I know.
Was it Candace? Is he being racist?
For what?
Did he hear Candace laugh?
Yes. I'm sorry. I like spaced out for a second.
Our hole.
I do think that Eric unfortunately heard Candace laughing and not Tiffany. I do think it is a race thing. I saw a Black person posted this on TikTok. Sorry, not TikTok, Threads. And they wrote when Eric said that he heard Tiffany's laugh, she was like, this person on Threads was like, wrong Black person.
Did Candace laugh though? Because that's a huge problem.
It is a problem because now people are going to be like, Eric heard a laugh. Whose laugh is it? Or whose other laugh could it be? Just in general, whether or not race comes into it.
He's going to make them all laugh for him. He maybe should.
Time to be a stand-up comedian because I got to get them all to laugh now.
Yeah, he's going to be like, Ron, come here. We got to work together. Mm-hmm. If Candace is smart, she'll change her laugh.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, I'm now watching season 3 of Traitors UK, and one of the women there is putting on a Welsh accent because she's like, Welsh people are like famously trustworthy.
Are they?
I don't know. I do love a Welsh accent, I have to say. But I don't know. I've literally just started. Okay. I fucking hate Scott. You know that.
And he's back.
I told you.
I know.
I saw him post something about like, this is only the second time that I've done a UK show.
Bitch.
I'll take Casey. Give me Casey. Give me 100 Caseys before Scott again.
100 Caseys over Scott.
I'm Team Casey.
I love this turn of events. I'm here for that.
I just fucking hate Scott. He is like not a fun person to watch on TV. He's such a dick.
He's an asshole. Yeah. And he's not.
Casey is like giggly and goofy
enough.
And funny. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yep.
Oh my God. Where are we? I'm like, now I'm in a Scott hole of anger.
Sorry. Okay, so his ears are sensitive because he's.
Oh yeah. Which leads to, unfortunately, a hilarious Michael Rapaport line in the next episode. But yes, he says that my ears are attuned. I'm a musician. I know that this was Tiffany's laugh. Oh, very sad.
Yeah, rough.
She's like, well, you need a new career.
Period.
She says she needs the money. Very sad. Candace says she feels like they're doing what they did with Portia. She brings it back to Ron. Tiffany starts to cry. Ron is like, yeah, I took a shot and made a mistake, but you need to either exonerate me or send me home. And it's like, dude, that just happened. I don't think that's fair. It's like everything that you do in this game is now what we're using to judge you. So
that's a good point, actually. Yeah. Exonerating him, like, that's just never going to happen.
Yeah.
Unless he can prove it. Like, it is up to him to prove that he's
to exonerate yourself.
Not for other people to, like, suddenly agree that you're faithful.
Yeah, he's basically like, drop it or send me home. I honestly think he's over it and wants to be sent home based on this, and also based on what he said to the traitors at the wood, where he was like, you better kill me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they'll probably get rid of him next, and then we'll have to figure out a new Traitors game plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Candace says that Ron only pushes other people when there is too much heat on him. Dorinda agrees. Ron feels set up. Then they have the vote. There are lots of votes for Tiffany. Rob votes for her with the excuse of, I've listened to Eric's music and the man knows pitch.
So good. So good. What a line.
So good because it gets Eric on his side. Mm-hmm. It is a believable reason for why he would be buying that theory.
Mm-hmm.
It makes him seem cultured and musical.
Yep.
And they vote out Tiffany. She's a faithful. The way that she says this is great. She's like, you get what you deserve and you don't deserve me.
Period.
Yes, queen. Everyone please go follow her on Instagram. Do we know her handle?
Real. Not off the top of my head, but we definitely follow her.
It is absolutely gorgeous 100.
We love.
Yeah. Go follow her and engage with her content because she deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
Eric apologizes to everyone. Colton admits that he made a mistake. And Michael tells Kristen that he thinks that one of the 3 hunks is a traitor.
He was not wrong. To be fair, he was not wrong.
He's like, it's either Colton, Rob, or Steven. They are too swaggered out.
That's because they're hot.
He's so insecure because he's like, I'm the hottest, but one of the hottest guys is, he knows he's not.
He knows he's not.
I need like a in-depth like psychological evaluation to leak of like what the fuck is going on with Michael Rapaport.
Agreed. I think he's in a K-hole.
Somebody reached out and was like, he's a raging Zionist, and I knew this. But here's the thing. I think that there is so much that we can judge him on just literally based on what he's doing on the show, that in this case, I will not talk about why he sucks off of the show, because he is just showing us all. He is proving why he sucks on the show. But just know that he's an extremely problematic person.
Yep. So then we see our traitors in the turret. Candace is upset about Tiffany. And Rob says that despite all of that, she was a smart person to vote out, which I was like, damn, that's cold.
That was another moment where I was like, okay, maybe he can do it.
Yeah, I agree. They then decide to narrow it down to Johnny, Monet, Maura, Tara, and Steven on who to kill. Rob wants to go for Steven because he's the other hunk, obviously. He's his biggest facial challenge, if you will. But then they also wonder about Monet because he did say Lisa's name.
I'm sorry. You think that Steven is on Rob's level?
In his prime, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. You don't think so?
To me, Rob is just on another level than literally every other human that's ever walked the earth.
I don't disagree with that.
The way that I feel about Rob is very similar to the way that I feel about Harry Styles.
Oh, God. And I feel nothing about Harry Styles.
It is so rare that I have this reaction to someone. I'm like, yes, I've always thought that Steven was like very cute. And like, obviously he was really hunky when he was younger, but it's like, he doesn't have the je ne sais quoi.
I do agree with you about that. I feel like the only other people I can think of that I've had this kind of reaction to are like Tyler Cameron. I was really obsessed with him. And Joey. Definitely felt this way about Joey. Grazie Day.
I don't feel this way about either of them.
I don't feel that way about either of them now because I feel like Rob has surpassed that. It was like Rob, it was like Tyler and Joey were like stepping stones to get to Rob.
It was like my brain, like that muscle had to flex. I had to exercise it to even like realize the full potential of my R-hole.
Yes, exactly.
I'm dying.
Correct. I mean, I was literally like, should I be buying Creek Rat merchandise right now? I was like, I think I should.
I think I'm going
really
to, but I saw that he's about to drop something else.
I know. I was going to wait to see what he dropped. I do really like the little cropped tank that says Match My Creek. I do like that one.
I just am a sweatshirt girly.
Yeah, the sweatshirt's cute. I like the sweatshirt. And I like that it has the snake on the arm.
Mm-hmm. A la Rob's arms.
Obviously. That's why I'm like, almost like you're attaching your skin to him.
Which is very smart marketing.
He knows what we're all thinking.
Anyway, they wonder about Monet.
Because Monet said Lisa's name, but Monet is good at the missions. Rob also thinks that Tara is a valuable player to have.
Because he says she doesn't know what's going on.
Right. Oh, poor Tara.
No, it's a smart strategy. It's a really smart, faithful strategy because,
it is.
I mean, at least in the beginning of the season, you're probably not going to get banished or murdered. It's a good way to slide through and kind of take the lay of the land and see what strategy you want to play. But it won't last forever.
Absolutely. I agree. So in episode 5, we start off with breakfast in the morning. First into the breakfast room are Eric, Candace, Dorinda, and Natalie. Dorinda then complains about how Ron isn't trying to be a part of the group. And then Colton, Rob in his overalls, not the Love Island overalls, new overalls.
New overalls.
Overalls that are a lighter shade that complement his eyes better.
That are tight in all the right places.
Ari, I don't know about you, but all I could think about was whether or not he was wearing underwear.
I always think he's not.
I don't think he is either. D on D, he said it's his favorite. And I was just like, his dick is
about that.
right there. How could you ever forget about that? D on D. Ari is fanning herself right now, just for the record. Okay, Mark and Kristen also come inside the breakfast
I was
room.
going to include a clip in the TikTok that I made of me taking off. I have to be nicer to Gabe. I love him so much.
That is so funny. Gabe knows that you love him.
I know. He knows.
He also knows you're in an R-hole. It's okay.
Okay.
No, but I get it. I feel like I'm talking shit about Lucas too. I gotta reel it in.
I just want to be so clear that we very much love our husbands.
Yes, absolutely.
Rob.
But you said Rob, I said but. If the offer presented itself. I'm just kidding.
We are not like full believers in monogamy, and I think that like being attracted to somebody else actually has nothing to do with the love that you have for your partner.
Exactly.
So want to make that clear.
Okay.
D on D.
So Kristen then ITM says she thinks that Colton is fishy, which on RuPaul's Drag Race is a compliment.
Oh, interesting.
Fishy means like you're like very put together. You look more like a woman. I think. If I remember correctly, I could be completely. If I'm wrong, please tell me. Okay, then in come Michael, Jam, and Ron. Rob asks Michael if he was scared last night, and Michael says that he lives in the slop. Mm-hmm. I just felt like Rob was like definitely like goading and trying to nag Michael in this moment, which I appreciated. Colton then talks about being on The Bachelor, and then
wait, I'm sorry, you can't skip over this conversation.
Okay. Yeah, Colton talks about being on The Bachelor.
Colton talks about being on The Bachelor, and Dorinda goes, I didn't know you went as a heterosexual.
It's like he didn't just like put on a costume, Dorinda.
But like,
So
I
funny.
think that she thought, obviously she's not seen the show, I think that she assumed that he was there with like a group of 30 men.
Oh, you think that was her first assumption?
Yeah, like seeing this gay man and knowing that he came from that world, that she thought that he was on like a gay iteration of it, and like just doesn't know anything about The Bachelor. I didn't know that you went as a heterosexual is so fucking funny. And then she's like, I wish that I had known you at that point in your life. Like, I know, so fucking hard up for these men. I actually am loving it, and maybe Alan was right about not having a ride in a long time.
Yep.
It was a beautiful moment. He was like, you dodged a bullet. They just like had what I thought was a pretty funny conversation.
Maura, Lisa, and Steven enter, and then last in are Johnny and Tara. So we realize that Monet has died.
Very, very good idea. Not only because he said something about Lisa, but also because he just is like a smart player, and I think that it makes sense for the traitors to kill him and not have it be pinned on, oh, it's because he suspected Lisa.
Exactly. It's really convenient that he only told Candace.
Exactly.
So,
well, as far as she knows.
As far as we know. Yeah. Candace also shouts out Dorinda's, how am I doing? Not well, bitch.
In the words of Dorinda Medley, not well, bitch.
Yep.
Oh, I love this fucking show.
Yep. It's so good. Alan then walks in with an amazing sweater. It is a little red, like maroon sweater vest that says murder. That's like bedazzled. I need this immediately.
It's amazing. Can we talk about the salmon?
Yeah, let's talk about the salmon. They are loving the salmon.
I think that there's just like limited salmon.
Yes.
Because in these 2 episodes, I want to say it came up 4 times.
It came up a lot. They were like, where's the salmon?
Yeah, I think that in this moment, when Maura walked in, because she was one of the last ones, she goes, I'm guessing there's no smoked salmon, right? Of course there's not.
It's like everyone eats it before that.
It's like they're almost as obsessed with the smoked salmon as they are with Rob.
Yes, you're right.
It's
Rob,
just like
smoked salmon, they're on the same level.
It's a really fun kind of like side plot for me.
It is fun. I agree. Shout out to the smoked salmon.
Shout out to the smoked salmon. Shout out to Rob.
Yeah,
they're in an
always.
S-hole.
Yes.
They're gonna be like, you're a traitor because you ate a whole plate of smoked salmon before I could even make it into breakfast.
That's what they should do. They should call somebody out for being a traitor that way.
I mean, I feel like it keeps getting brought up, like the salmon could become a thing. Keep your eye on the salmon.
Eyes on the salmon. So Tara, Kristen, Candace, and Lisa then discuss Ron being a traitor, and Michael, Natalie, Rob, and Maura discuss how they all followed Ron and Colton, but maybe they shouldn't have. Michael also suspects that Colton could be a traitor, and Ron thinks that Michael or Dorinda are traitors.
They're all so wrong. It's so satisfying.
They're all so wrong. It's hilarious. Candace feels suspicious of Ron, obviously using quotations here because she's not actually suspicious of Ron.
But it's kind of great for her that he's stuck around for so long, so she doesn't have to like continuously be like putting her fake suspicion on different people. Like this has really allowed a cover for her for now multiple episodes.
And she's sticking to it, and it really makes her look like a genuine faithful.
Agreed.
Because she's like, I'm not letting up on the gas on Ron being a traitor until I know for sure. And like what is more faithful than that?
Exactly. And then she's going to play it so well when he's banished and she's wrong. And then we'll see what she does from there. But yeah, so far this has been a really excellent strategy for her.
Agreed. Kristen tells Candace that she knows for a fact that Colton is a traitor.
Oh, yeah. I will say I asked for more from Kristen and I feel like we're getting it.
Yeah, we are getting a little bit more. I'm happy to see it, even though she's wrong, but that's okay.
She's wrong, but she's playing.
Yes, she is playing. We then see our next mission. They have to find 8 missing statues, and then they have to put them in the rightful place by the fountain. In order to get the statues, they first have to wade through water in the fountain and find coins that reveal the locations of the statues. The last thing they do is they turn the wheel to bring the fountain back to life. They can earn up to $16,000 toward the prize pot, and hidden alongside the statues are a number of different shields. If they all elect to not take a shield, then they stop tonight's murder. But if even one of them takes a shield, then someone is going to be murdered.
I loved this.
Me too.
This is so smart.
Very smart. This is tough. This is when you could pull a Harry. Maybe not.
No.
That might be harder.
Yeah, the problem with exactly. The problem with taking a shield in this scenario is that you're going to look like a traitor because they're going to say, "Oh, you wanted to be able to kill."
Right. Yeah,
which they all are aware of.
Yeah,
but obviously the traitors are hoping that somebody
else will get
would do it. I thought it was a really interesting game mechanic that we haven't seen up until now. And what was so beautiful about it as well is how devious the producers are, because obviously they're all on this fountain. They're looking for these coins. We don't know which statue they're going to find first, but the last statues that they go to right before the end of the game happen to be the ones that have 4 shields underneath the statues. I was like, I love the producers for doing this, for like going and putting extra shields as an extra incentive and temptation at the very end of the challenge.
They were like, they're not tempted by this one shield. We got to hustle and shove them all in the last ones.
Oh my God, it was so good.
Agreed. Yeah, so in this mission, they're going to be playing in groups of 4, and then they split off to make teams.
Can we talk about how upset specifically Lisa and Candace are about having to get wet?
Yeah.
Lisa is like, I'm not cute wet. No. And then when Candace starts to get into the fountain, she's like, and Alan goes, I never will tire of seeing a soggy housewife. Oh, every moment of this show.
Every moment of the show is so good.
It's so
campy. Chef's kiss. It's everything I've ever wanted and more.
So they start searching in the water. I jumped the gun here a little bit, but Candace says, I can't go in this water. What if I get a yeast infection? Who's going to take care of my coochie?
This made me laugh. I was dying.
Relatable.
Very relatable.
Rob and Johnny find clues. Rob's group finds one shield, agrees to leave it. Johnny's group also finds a shield. They all are there are shields under every single statue.
Right.
They also agree not to take one, though. Both groups put a statue around the fountain, and then Colton's group and Steven's group get statues. Also seemingly agree to not take the shields, but Colton says like he's kind of having a internal battle about the shield and says, I could see myself going home. But the thing is, Colton, this is a game about, as a faithful, about avoiding banishment and murder, and does not protect you from banishment.
Right.
The groups are continuing along. Michael finds the last coin and says that they have to go to the labyrinth. It's
Idiot.
Trump saying, how does he say what Venezuela? He says
God, I
it
don't
in
know.
some crazy way.
I try to not ever hear him speak if I can help it.
Oh, wow.
He's such a fucking
That
idiot.
would probably be good for my mental health.
I recommend it because you're still gonna get Trump content.
They are not dissimilar, Trump and Michael Rapaport.
I was just about to say that. Like, they are actually so similar.
Yeah.
They feel like the same people to me.
At least Michael isn't like in charge of, kidnapping
The
another
country.
nation's president or not.
Yep. That's a fact. He's also not in charge of our nuclear codes, which is good. But Michael, I would argue, actually has more brain power than Donald Trump.
Because Trump has dementia.
Yes.
Did you
you
see the
see-
thing? What were you going to say? Wait, you're writing something right now. What's happening?
Am I? What do you mean? I'm
Look
writing
at-
something?
Look at the notes.
Oh, fuck. Oh, sorry. LOL. Okay. I was going to say, did you see that they did a press conference where Trump went and stood and looked out the
This
window?
is exactly what I was gonna say. And he was like, I have to go look at this ballroom. Oh, beautiful. And then people were like, that the ballroom isn't even there. He couldn't even see it.
Right. He was just looking at the door. He was like, this is going to be the door to the ballroom. And I was like, what the fuck? And then later, Marco Rubio hands him a note, and then Trump reads the note out loud.
Yeah, I saw
Like a
all of
fucking
this.
idiot.
And Marco Rubio's face was like,
They all laughed. They're like, oh, look at this ding dong. I'm like, he is the president of the fucking United States.
anyway. Colton is worried that somebody snuck a shield. They then find the 4 shields. Johnny's group finds 4 shields. Rob runs off to help another group because he is a team fucking player. That was the other thing that I didn't mention before that Harry on season 2 of UK did an excellent job of, was this strategy that Rob 100% is employing of being going ham at all of the challenges, trying to win them as much money as possible.
Right. He's trying to be very valuable in that regard.
Mara says, look how fast Rob is. And then she goes,
I died, Ari. I was like, what is happening here?
she's the representation of us.
Yes. Everyone in that castle is they're all us.
They're drooling. That
I get
literally,
it.
that in and of itself, they're going to be like, why would we banish our eye candy?
No, literally. I would, even if I suspected Rob is a traitor, I wouldn't get rid of him. Because I'm like, what? I'm not going to get rid of the hottest guy I've ever seen.
It's like the opposite of what's about to happen with Michael, where they're like, even if you're a faithful, we
Yes.
want you the fuck out of here. It's going to be
Right.
like, we know you're a traitor, but honestly, you deserve the money.
I fuck with that. I can fuck with that. Whatever.
Oh my God.
So good.
They complete the challenge, bringing the prize pot up to $106,000. That's crazy.
lot.
We're only halfway through the season or less.
I know. Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of money when Rob takes it all in the end. And
Mhm.
can't wait for you to pay for our 2 maternity leaves when we become full-time podcasters.
Iconic.
I will say when they turn the fountain on, it's blood. It's red.
Yeah, it's red.
And I do think that Candace was well within her rights to be concerned about a yeast infection.
Agreed. That water was murky.
It was disgusting. I hope that she changes ASAP, which, by the way, reminds me, isn't it interesting how they wear the same outfit in the morning and at night, but obviously have to change in between?
Yeah. Candace said in the People interview that they don't have much time to get glammed up again either. So they're kind of gross. I'm sure they can shower, but they probably don't have a time to put all new makeup and glam and hair and blah, 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 blah.
Which is probably an incentive also to not get your face in the water. I don't know.
True.
Interesting. But
Yeah.
at least they had time to clean those coochies.
Yep. Coochie crack, coochie crack, coochie crack.
Alan is not going to reveal to them if anyone took a shield yet. And we find out later that we're not even going to know until the next morning
No.
if somebody has died or not.
Which means next week. Which
I
I'm
know.
upset about.
Lisa talks about how proud of her Harry Hamlin would be. Dorinda and Steven discuss Ron, but then Ron comes into the room and he's like, I am 90% on 2 traitors, Michael and Dorinda.
Dumb. Like,
Ron,
to her face.
Yeah, I know. They kind of get into it a little bit. And then in the kitchen, people debate if it could be Ron, if it could be Michael. Michael comes in and says if no one is killed tonight, meaning nobody took a shield, he thinks that the traitors will then get to kill 2 the next day, which to me, I'm like, maybe this motherfucker took a shield.
Interesting. Maybe. Or maybe he's just thinking ahead. I didn't mind his theory. I was like, I could see the show doing that. Like, oh, you got saved tonight, but now 2. Now you're sending 3 home.
And then you're still there, bitch, in your overalls. Colton then asks Michael if Alan changes outfits in the turret. And Michael like laughs and is like, I don't know. I know what you're trying to do, which I think that he responded to this pretty well. And then Colton is like, I'm going for you. And Michael is like, be humble. And this is the moment where I 100% fleeting, but where I am on Michael's side when he's like, you would think after taking such a hard swing and missing last night that you would be a little bit more fucking humble today. And he is right.
Yeah.
And I'll give him that because that's the last nice thing I'm going to say about him.
That's a fact.
Oh, God. Michael then starts to go off on others about Colton. They get into kind of a screaming match. He seems to think that he's aware that he's being annoying. Like, there are multiple times where he has ITMs about, like, my personality has gotten me into trouble my whole life. And, like, I've worked on it my whole life, but it is what it is. And I'm like,
right.
Maybe more work, maybe more therapy.
Agreed.
Michael then overhears his name in the kitchen. Actually, Rob says his name, but he comes in thinking it was Colton, and then he goes off on Colton.
Yeah. And then we move into the round table. To back up briefly, actually, when Michael is like screaming at Colton and everybody, Rob is just like laughing the whole time. And I was just like, that's so relatable. Like, I would be laughing too, because I'd be like, this guy's fucking ridiculous.
And again, such a good distraction. Such a good person to have in the castle for the traitors.
Definitely. So they go into the round table and Candace brings up all the shouting in the kitchen. Michael then says, conniving, colluding, commiserating Colton. And he says that last night someone was made to feel sad, crazy, and alone. And the person who didn't was Colton. It's the conniving, colluding. Or sorry, he goes conniving, commiserating Colton. He then tells Colton to keep his mouth shut. And he says that he, Michael Rapaport, is angry and isolated because of Colton. I said, no, sir, that's because of you and your own bad personality. And then Michael says something absolutely horrendous. He says, no one would be better at holding a secret than Colton.
This might be giving him too much credit, but I don't know if he understood the implication of what he was saying.
It's always possible, but like my reaction to this was, what the fuck?
No, and everyone's reaction to this was, what the fuck? And that's where I'm like, obviously he is a bad player. Also, the first person that they showed being like, what the fuck, was Rob. Love.
Right.
Not MAGA.
Well, Rob has a gay brother, so Rob would be understandably upset by this kind of comment.
I just am like, it is so incriminating that like, I don't think that you would, why would you ever think that that is a good idea?
Right.
And he like tries to be like, just because of like how you've been in the castle. I think like it's a really like horrific oversight. I don't know. Maybe it was intentionally homophobic, and obviously like the impact is the impact, and it is like totally fucked up and not okay for him to say that. But I'm just like, how could you be so fucking dumb to do that on purpose?
I think he did say it because Colton is gay, because Colton is like, there it is. And then he's like, you think because I kept like, because I didn't come out until I was 29 years old. And Michael Rapaport kind of doubles down on that.
Well, he says, I didn't say that because Colton says, you just said that I would be me because I kept a secret for 29 years, which he didn't say.
But that's like Trump logic. That's like, I didn't say it. It's like, you didn't say it verbatim, but you said it without saying it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I just
don't know.
find it so hard to believe that he would be this fucking stupid, but maybe he is.
I think he is, because the shit that he posts online, I mean,
Yeah.
to bring that back, he doesn't give a fuck. He tries to be inflammatory for the sake of being inflammatory.
So then you think he kind of tries to walk it back because everyone had a bigger reaction to it than he expected?
Yes.
Michael, you were saying this to a room of 50% gays.
Gay people. I know there's a lot of gay people in that room.
What
Yeah.
the fuck, dude?
Yeah. Johnny then speaks up about Colton being forced into the closet. Everyone, I wrote, everyone takes this how I am taking it. Thank God. Because I was immediately the fuck.
I was too, to be clear. I also was what the fuck? I just was astounded.
Yeah, because how could you be so dumb?
What this does is it then makes everyone want to vote him out literally just because they don't want. I have never seen something like this happen on the show where they're if you're a faithful,
cool,
bye.
Goodbye. Yeah.
I don't care what the fuck you are. We want you the fuck out of this castle. This is the worst error I've ever seen on this show.
Huge error. Yeah. So Michael denies that he did not intend for it to be taken this way, keeps saying the word commiserating. Rob then speaks up. He's clearly agitated. He says, commiserating means you feel sorry for someone. Michael's no, it doesn't. Rob's yes, it does.
And he goes, I'm sorry, that was driving me nuts.
I was I love this. This was my moment. Because nothing's hotter than a guy who knows grammar.
I know. I was between this and something else, and since you gave it to this, I'll give it to the other one. I'll tell you at the end of the episode.
Okay. Colton then admits to making a mistake regarding Tiffany. He then also brings up how only one person who has written Michael's name isn't dead. Ron then brings up how it's got to be Michael and Dorinda who are traitors. And Dorinda calls him a housewife hunter. She says she's tried to get to know him. She thinks that Ron is manipulating everybody.
This was so funny. She's I have asked about your family and you haven't asked me anything. He's I don't give a fuck about your family. I was do you know who the fuck you're talking to?
I know. I was whoa. Roll back, Ron. Don't come for my girl, Dorinda.
It was such a Dorinda play to be I have tried to get to know you. Yeah. I have shown interest in your life, in your family.
I know.
It's so cute. I love her.
It's really cute. I agree. Michael then pipes back up about Colton, and others agree that Michael has been on their radar, and they do not like how he spoke to Colton. Eric says that Michael is a distraction, even if he is a faithful.
Michael then, unfortunately, I just have to says the man with the magic ears, which made me laugh.
That was funny. Yeah. He did eat with that. Colton says, I do not want to be in the same room with you. Maura tells him to stop talking, and he says, you stop talking. He's an idiot. She's not talking. The voting begins. Lisa votes for Ron. They go around and vote. Johnny votes for Michael and says, I don't give a shit what you are. I want you out of my castle. Period. Maura says, I'm sick of the Michael show. You talk way too much, but you don't say a lot. Michael is then voted out, and he is obviously a faithful. He says, you voted out the best looking, smartest, and dopest faithful. And then he ITMs a bullshit fucking apology for offending people in the house.
Good riddance.
Goodbye. Deuces.
Alan then comes in and reveals that they will find out tomorrow at breakfast if someone took a shield. Ron says that he's second guessing himself now. Eric, Kristen, and Mark chat, and Kristen continues with her theory that it's Colton. Mark is Colton has thrown out a lot of names. It sounds like he has a list of everyone that everyone has been accusing people of, which is super smart. Johnny and Tara ask Candace if she trusts them. She's of course. Colton talks to Dorinda about how Lisa has been too quiet at the table. She's you know her. Is this normal for her? And she says no.
Yeah.
And to circle back around, I fucking told you.
Yeah, you're right.
Maura and Colton agree that Lisa is really dramatic at breakfast and they would expect for her to be louder at the round table. I think that a faithful Lisa would be louder at the round table, would be throwing out more ludicrous accusations.
Totally.
Rob says, I haven't thought that. I haven't really talked to her that much, which, like you said before, is a really, really good deflection. He can't be like, oh, no, I'm 100% sure that she's a faithful. But just to be like, oh, she hasn't really been on my radar is not suspicious.
Exactly.
We see we see Johnny and Tara kind of cuddling, being super cute because they're alone in a room. Rob walks by and Johnny says, he's so hot, I can't even look at him.
Johnny is all of us. I loved this so much.
I loved it so much. They're all eating out of the palm of Rob's fucking hand. It's so
understandable.
Good.
It's because he wore those light blue overalls, dude. His eyes were popping.
It's so funny too. Like the show is so much about fashion, and like all of them are putting together like such a look. And then Rob throws on a pair of overalls, literally without even underwear. Like puts on one article of clothing, and everyone is like.
Yeah, because the next best thing would be him fully naked. He doesn't need to wear clothes.
Again, like the power that this man holds needs to be studied. It's astounding.
I need to know what it's like to wake up every day and know that you're that fucking hot.
I need to know what it feels like to walk down the street and just watch people whip their heads around.
It's got to be a lot of pressure. I'm sure it's very hard. I was thinking about this a lot, obviously, because I've been in an R-hole. And I was just thinking about how it must be very difficult for him to date because you're so attractive and everyone wants to be with you because you're so attractive, but they might not actually take any time to get to know you as a person.
But also it's challenging because he has like a perfect personality. So it's like, he probably has chemistry with everyone. Like, how do you choose who your person is?
He's spoiled for choice. Duh. We're right here, Rob. You just haven't met us yet.
Goddamn, we are sick. We are sick.
We are speaking for the masses, Ari.
Johnny is speaking for the masses. Everyone at Maura is speaking for the everyone has this reaction to him. Yeah. It is truly like so fascinating.
Yeah.
I like want to be like hooked up to like I want somebody to like read my brain waves and like understand what's going on because it is like not fucking normal.
Oh my God, we should do a study.
That it needs to be scientifically studied.
It needs to be studied. So we need to invest in this.
If you have a psychology
Robert Kennedy
lab,
Jr., if you're listening.
Okay. No, I don't want him involved. If you have a psychology lab in Denver. Sorry, I'm in Baltimore. Hole. If you are in Denver, Colorado, or Baltimore, Maryland, and you want us to come in, we will let you put fucking probes on our heads and watch the show. Please, like, I need to know what the fuck is happening.
I'm getting a dopamine hit for sure. Like a dopamine, I feel addicted. It feels like I'm doing coke or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
I'm in an R-hole.
It turns out I do know what you mean. Oh my God.
Okay, let's keep going.
The traitors go to the turret. They all say that they didn't get a shield. Rob is like, Lisa, Colton is coming for you. And they all agree that Lisa needs to talk more, which unfortunately like might come down on anybody who was in that conversation. Rob included. Like anybody who was there and heard Dorinda and Colton say that could then be blamed for telling Lisa to adjust her strategy. I don't know. But this is around the time where Rob ATMs, he can only do so much to protect his fellow traitors. And that is absolutely right. You have to tell her what's going on. You let her adjust on her own. And if she doesn't and the heat doesn't leave her, he's going to need to vote for Lisa.
Exactly.
Oh, man. So they all agree that if somebody did take a shield and they're able to, they will murder Colton. You think this is an error?
It's a possible error because the most likely person who took a shield is probably Colton. And so then they could get tripped up and kill the wrong person. That could fuck them over. Also, I think it becomes too obvious. Clearly, it makes Lisa very obviously a traitor.
Well, exactly. But I think, listen, the faithfuls need a traitor. The faithfuls are going to have to banish a traitor at some point.
Right.
And I think that them doing this, like if people keep expressing concern or expressing suspicion about Lisa and then that person ends up dead,
right?
Candace and Rob, you're going to have to turn on her and feed her to the faithfuls, and that strengthens their game. And it just, I mean, I feel so strongly about that after watching season 2 of UK that like you cannot win as a traitor without doing that.
Yeah, I think that for sure. You have to turn on them. Yeah,
So.
eventually.
Love this show.
Me too. It's so good.
Who was your MVP?
This week, I'm going to give it to Candace because I think she's playing an excellent faithful game right now. She's really flying under the radar, and I'm excited to see what she does next. What about you?
I also gave it to Candace.
Nice.
Yeah.
Proud of us for not giving it to Rob.
I know. I'm so proud of us. We're so objective.
Very objective. We're journalists. We have journalistic integrity. Who was your most toxic player?
I don't know. Maybe Michael?
Yeah. I said the same thing. Bye, bitch.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe the floor is opening for other people to be toxic now that
Colton's
gone.
my runner-up.
Same.
Yeah.
What was your LOL moment?
I was really torn, but I think I'm going to go with Johnny saying he's so hot I can't even look at him.
That was mine.
My other one was Candace saying, who's going to take care of my coochie? That was really funny.
Yeah. Or to quote Dorinda Medley, not well, bitch.
Yes, that was good.
Also, all the salmon talk.
Yes.
As you said last episode, what's so good about the show is that it's just funny all the time.
It's so funny all the time. Yes. What was your error? I think we have the same one.
Honestly, my error, I can't even decide if this is my error or my most shocking. I think it might be both, but definitely what Michael said to Colton at the round table.
I had the exact same feeling. I wrote my error was Michael's homophobia, but most shocking was also Michael's rude ass comment.
Yeah, I think it was both.
Yeah, both. Monet being killed was like my runner up for shocking.
Oh, I didn't think that was shocking. I thought that was the right play for sure. I think that the
fair.
reason this just has to be the error because, like I said, I have never, ever, ever in this show seen a group of players hate somebody so much that they are willing to sacrifice a faithful to get them out of the castle. Like,
Yeah.
it is maybe the worst error that has ever been done on this show.
I agree. To be like, we literally don't care. You need to leave.
Yeah.
It's bad. Okay, what was your moment?
I originally said cannot decide between correcting Michael's grammar and throwing Maura over his shoulder. But since you went with the grammar, I'm going with the shoulder.
Thank you. I was also between those two moments, obviously. For obvious reasons.
And then we already discussed that our most shocking was the same as our error.
Yeah. God, I
Wow.
love the show. I'm like low-key kind of sad there's only one episode next week.
I am happy about it because I want to savor it. I want to get really
Yeah.
in depth with everything.
Yes,
So
I do
yes,
like to savor it.
From now on, we will only have one episode to watch per week. So if you have somebody in your life who's like, I can't listen to that great podcast because the shows that they recap come out way too often. Well, guess what? Now's their time to hop on the bandwagon. I am
everyone's
giving my
watching
mom
this.
my Peacock login so that she can join. She told me she doesn't even listen or she doesn't even watch any of the shows that we recap, but sometimes she listens just because she says that we laugh a lot and it makes her happy.
I love your mom. She's so sweet.
She's so cute.
I can't wait to meet her.
I know.
That'll be awesome.
I know. Okay, well, we cannot wait to chat with you. We will be here Thursday recapping some amount of Love Island All-Stars.
X amount of All-Stars.
TBD. And in the meantime, take care of yourselves and don't get too deep in that R-hole.
You know it. It'll get you.
I'm talking to you, Maura.
I know. Thank you, guys. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. Please follow us at She's Got the Chat on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Threads, and YouTube. Rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. Please share us with a friend, an enemy, a coworker, a family member, a local politician. Bye.